All right, so California gas prices. Am I right?
Yeah.
It's like every time you go to the pump, it's a little bit of a shock.
It is a little painful.
Like, how are they so much higher than everywhere else, and what are we going to do about it? So we dug into some research.
Yes, we did.
We're going to try and, break down those taxes and the regulations that everyone talks about.
Yeah, the market forces that kind of make California its own little island. For gas, at least.
Exactly. So I was reading this article about this local bakery,
Okay.
and they were saying their delivery costs, because they got a van and they deliver all their bread and pastries and everything.
Sure.
They're like, we've had to raise prices.
Right.
And I know it's not just them.
Right.
Like everybody who's driving for a living.
Yeah, it touches every part of the economy.
Yeah, it's like this ripple effect.
Absolutely.
So, all right, let's just get into it. Like, when we talk about gas prices, we have to talk about taxes.
Right. Yeah, I mean, California has, like, the highest gas taxes in the whole country.
Why is that?
Well, okay, so like most other states, we have excise taxes.
Yeah.
And those are just like a fixed amount for every gallon you buy.
Right.
And then on top of that, there's sales tax, which I guess you have on most things you buy in California.
Yep.
But the thing that's really different in California is we have this cap and trade program.
Right.
And this is a program that it's pretty complicated, but basically it's designed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by putting a limit on how much pollution companies are allowed to produce.
Right.
And if they go over that limit, they have to buy these allowances,
Okay.
which are basically they're paying for the right to pollute more, and that cost gets passed along to you and me.
So it's like we're all paying to try to get people to pollute less, like a financial incentive.
Exactly. It's an incentive to pollute less, but it does come at a price.
Right. So, but do we know how much this cap and trade is actually adding to each gallon of gas?
Yeah, studies have actually shown that it adds like 16 cents
Yeah.
to every gallon, which is kind of crazy, like if you think about it.
Yeah, that adds up.
Yeah.
Especially when you're filling up, a big SUV or truck or whatever.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of special, though, I was also reading about how, like California, we have this special blend of gasoline too, right? Like, especially for the summer.
We do. Yeah.
How does that work, and how much does that affect the price?
So basically, during the summer months, California requires this special blend of gasoline that evaporates less easily.
Okay.
And that helps reduce smog, which we know is a big problem in California.
Especially in LA.
Yeah, especially in LA.
Yeah.
But what it means is our gas has to go through this specific refining process to make it, less smoggy, I guess.
Right.
And that process just makes it more expensive to make.
Right.
And then on top of that, to make it even more expensive, most of this special blend is made right here in California.
Oh, wow. So it's more expensive to make, and we have a limited amount of it.
Yeah.
Which kind of brings us to, another point, the refineries themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, California has a limited number of oil refineries.
Yeah.
And we don't have, like, a lot of pipelines connecting us to other states.
Right.
So that makes us like super reliant on the gas we make here or, imports.
Which means we're vulnerable to price swings if something happens. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Any disruption in the supply and those prices are just going to go up.
I remember reading about there was a fire at a refinery a few months ago.
Oh, yeah.
And prices just shot up.
Yeah. And it was crazy because we can't just import gas from other states easily.
Right.
So yeah, it's like any disruption in the supply chain here, and it has this huge impact on the market.
So we're really stuck on our own little island when it comes to gas.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then it's not even just what's happening in California, right?
Right.
Our sources were saying that the global oil market plays a big role too.
Huge role. I mean, think about it. We rely on imports, right? So that means any fluctuation in the global price of oil, it's going to hit us pretty hard.
Right.
Just basic supply and demand, but on a global scale.
Right. So we have high taxes. We have the special blend.
Yep.
We have a limited number of refineries. We're at the whim of this global oil market. It really is like a perfect storm.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we can't forget there's also that low carbon fuel standard too.
Right.
Which is kind of it's like cap and trade, but it's also trying to reduce emissions.
Right.
Which, again, is a good thing.
Of course.
But it's adding to the price.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, all these programs, they're really important for climate change. They're really important for air quality.
Yeah.
But they're definitely contributing to the price we pay at the pump.
So it's how do you balance trying to do good for the environment with the reality that people got to get to work
Right.
You got to put food on the table.
Yeah.
Businesses got to like function.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of the biggest challenges facing California.
Right.
How do we balance these, environmental needs with the economic realities?
Yeah. It's a lot to think about.
It is.
It really makes you kind of, every time I go to the pump now, I think about all this stuff. Like, oh, okay.
Right.
That's where this is coming from.
Yeah, it's good to understand it all.
Well, there you have it, folks. The reasons why California gas prices are so high.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
But, what do you think? What solutions do you think, would work? Let us know. And until next time.
Keep diving deep.
Keep diving.
Into whatever you're interested in.
That's right. Lay.